Us now, Anduril Industries founder, Palmer Luckey. Palmer, great to have you on the show.
Oh, it's great to be here, and it's also great to be 7th place on the disruptor list. We're going to be 1st place next year, I hope.
Yeah, well, it's definitely what you've been doing has been noticed. I do want to get into, you've got some news for the company specifically, but first I do want to start with some of this D.C. drama that we're seeing play out, and specifically debt ceiling and the broader read-through and implications for defense spending and the trajectory here in the U.S. for that. How you're thinking about that at Anduril and what it means more broadly for this industry, especially startups.
Well, let me talk about the near term. I don't think that we're going to default on the debt. I think that we're going to figure this out. Everyone says that they want to figure it out with a handful of exceptions. If things do go in that direction, then I think we've got even bigger problems than the near-term defense budget. Much bigger structural problems. As far as the long run, I saw you mention something earlier. Something bad that could happen is perhaps a cut in defense spending. My philosophy, despite being in the defense industry, is that we should figure out a way to spend less on defense while getting more. That's why I got into autonomous systems for defense. The first page of the first pitch deck for my company 6 years ago said that Anduril will save taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars a year by making tens of billions of dollars a year. Now, we're not doing either of those things yet, but we're on a path to doing so. And I think that with the right technology, we can spend less and still do more, be safer, and keep our partners and allies around the world safer as well. Yeah,
I want to get into what that technology actually looks like. But first, just in terms of the possibility of continuing resolution, you've had Pentagon officials who have even floated real concern, I think, that you could see something like potentially a one-year continuing resolution. Just how damaging would that be to defense tech companies and to this startup landscape that is trying to cut down on some of the costs associated with this new way of warfare?
Well, continuing resolution seems like it's the new normal. So actually, just speaking candidly, we model CR into our budget planning, assuming that it's going to happen every single year. We just assume that that's what's going to happen. But we're in a little bit of a different place. We've been around for 6 years. We're well funded. We have a lot of programs. We have a lot of revenue. We're doing very well. Where this is really going to be very bad is for defense startups who are not in the position that mine is today. So, I mean, I started my first company, Oculus VR, when I was 19 years old, living in a camper trailer. Well, what about the news defense startups that are relying on funding to continue, that are relying on new program starts? What about the people who are a couple years down from that, where they have a small team of people, where they have a few contracts that they're relying on to just pay the bills, keep the lights on? Those are the people who are going to get screwed the most by a CR. It's not my company, and it's certainly not the major defense primes like Lockheed or Northrop, though certainly all of us will be having a not great time.
So let's talk a little bit about this new technology or this new capability that you are testing and you just unveiled. Mission autonomy, what is it?
Sure. I mean, we just announced our new product called Lattice for mission autonomy. Lattice is kind of our AI sensor fusion engine that makes all of our Anduril systems work, and that also works for a lot of other systems. We just recently announced a lot of new capabilities that allow you to use Lattice for mission autonomy to plan, simulate, and execute missions with small numbers of people controlling large, extremely large numbers of autonomous systems, including lethal autonomous systems. And this is a really big capability that hasn't really existed in the past. It's not just about making an airplane fly waypoints or a car self-driving, self-navigating. That's typically what people think of when they think of autonomy as it pertains to vehicles. This is allowing vehicles to make decisions based on the commands they've been given by their human operators to actually manage mission decisions. So, what to do with certain types of targets, when to communicate, when not to communicate, when to reallocate resources away from one target to another, when to actually strike something versus when to launch an electronic warfare attack. Again, under the control of a person, but that person is giving high-level intent commands, not micromanagement to the second commands that require continuous data links that, unfortunately, in the modern era are easily disrupted and easily jammed, at least temporarily, by our strategic adversaries.
Yeah.